I've addressed this a couple times before, but I do want to address it again. I think a common misconception with going through the awakening is that we must now become a doormat, keep our mouths shut, and never stand up for ourselves. And people like to call that your ego. Now, I think that that is a narrative that needs to change. I think when you let people be rude to you, talk down to you, bully you, harass you, and you are the bigger person because you're going through an awakening and you don't want to let the ego get in the way, you allow yourself to then become a victim. And becoming a victim leaves us in a victim mentality. Now, whether you actually internalize that and become the victim, or even if you don't, not standing up for yourself is making you a victim. And that is something that is making us stay stuck. It is time that we stop letting people treat us like shit and just be like, oh, let me just be the bigger person, because that allows that person to think that, one, that is okay, and two, to treat the next person the same way. And so that person will keep going through life harassing, bullying, talking down to other people because nobody has ever stood up for themselves and put them in their place. So a narrative that I want to change as going through my spiritual awakening is that I am not one to fuck with. And I am not one to sit down and be quiet just because I'm going through an awakening. I think that going through an awakening is all about setting boundaries. And if people are disrespectful to you, you put them in their place. Now, I don't do it so nicely because I don't really give a shit. I think that people think like, oh, you're so awake, but you're acting this way. You're letting your feelings get in the way. Yeah, I think that people need to realize that we are all people with real feelings. And although the words do not hurt me in any way, I will be the one to set you straight. Because I will not allow you to then go hurt someone who may not be as strong as me. So if you come at me a certain way, I will match your energy. Because if we're all supposed to be one, the way you treat me is gonna reflect back onto you, right? So think about how you treat others before you say something rude or hateful or mean, even if it's a comment, because you are putting yourself at risk to then have that person spit it back at you. And it doesn't matter if it's a content creator, because there's no reason for us to have to be nice to you guys. Even if it's a spiritual, which I never called myself spiritual, I'm just going through an awakening. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna now be this like love and light. No, that's not me. I will still run my mouth. So I think people really need to focus on themselves and say, what did I do to cause this person to treat me this way? Did I say something mean to them? Is that why they're reacting? Maybe if I changed my behavior, they wouldn't have reacted this way back. And that is how we can start making a change in the world. Looking within instead of pointing the finger and judging everyone else for reacting to our behavior. That wasn't so nice to begin with.